Hi viewers, you are welcome to our channel once again. I am still Chinedu by name. Yes, in our previous video, we noticed a kind of trend when I posted about Awka. People observed Awka. People that have not seen Awka before and people that have left Awka for a long time make their observations, and that one being what it is. Then secondly, when I posted about Asaba, people saw Asaba, comments were coming in, but I noticed one trend. People were kind of trying to compare Awka, why they prefer Awka also about Asaba. So, but this time around, I've decided to bring it to the forefront now. Awka and Asaba. We are bringing the two videos together now. There are some videos that were not featured in the previous ones that are new in this particular video. If you watch it, you will observe what I'm saying. So this time around, I'm going to a kind of open up everything so that when we talk, we know what we are talking, and it will be a kind of guide to what we are discussing about. I am talking about when you say that this city is fine or this city is not fine, there are some criteria, there are some features that makes a city a standard city. So I am going to roll out these criteria one after the other throughout this video. I'm not going to rush them, but gradually be rolling them out so that we have this understanding on when we are trying to assess a city. Then, having said that, I am going to a kind of ask us to make your decision. Having heard everything about a city, decide in these two cities which one do you prefer. If you are a government worker or a businessman or whatever thing you engage yourself in, which of these two cities will you prefer to live and stay and do business? So these are the two things that are very important in this video. Then I will go deep into the description of road, because I noticed also that people are so interested as regards road. So I'm going to roll out how a standard road should look like and what are the features of this standard road. So I don't want you to miss an inch of this video. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, so let's start without wasting time. Yes, I say that a standard city has certain basic features that are necessary for it to function effectively. You see to it, the features of a standard city. People may be having some impression that city is about building, or city is about road, or city is about this or that. Now, hear from the horse's mouth, hear from the place that it happens, so that if you are assessing a city, you will know the areas that you look into. Then I will start with infrastructure. This includes roads, bridges, highways, airports, public transportation, and other essential facilities that enable people and goods to move in and out of the city. So, but something just occurred to me now, and it's very necessary that I chip it in. You see, Awka and Asaba, they were created the same day, as in Delta State and the new Anambra State is created the same day, 27th of August 1991. These two states were created the same day, the new Anambra State and Delta State. So, looking at the two cities, it has a lot of, reasons to do that. So, but I know that there are other things that may still affect how the two cities functions, but it's left for you to let us know and understand these things. Okay, having said that, the infrastructure, that is, you talk about the walkability, that a city that is pedestrian friendly with walkways, bike lanes, and public transportation. You see to it, infrastructures. They've mentioned it about road. This is where the road's coming. What about the bridges? What about the airports and the rest of them? So if you are assessing the two cities, you consider these two things. But let me go deep. Let me just go deep into, describing road. Let's just tackle that once before we proceed to other areas. Road is part of the infrastructures that we have in a city. Then, how do you assess the areas that you can access on a road? The road we are referring to here is not about it's not about expressway or highway. We are talking about normal dual carriageway within a city, normal city roads, and the rest of them. That's normal city road. We're not talking about intercity expressways. Okay, so let's just cast our mind towards the area that we are talking about. When you are assessing a road, you talk about the surface condition of the road. Talk about the surface condition. Is the road smooth? So the road surface condition is crucial to ensuring safety for drivers, pedestrians, cyclists. It is important to evaluate the road's level of wear and tear, potholes, cracks, and other signs of damages. See? So the surface of the road is very important when you are assessing a road, that this road is good. You see the surface, it's a very fine road, no cracks, nothing. Then second, I'm going to, let me just roll it out. Then talk about even if the road is another point I'm trying to make now. Even if the road is smooth and everything, what about the traffic volume? If the traffic is usually on a particular road, it is a sign of poor planning. It's a very good sign of poor planning of road. So if the planning of the road, if when road is being put in use and it's discovered that there are heavy traffic on that, they should provide a diversion. That shows a good plan. There must be provision for diversion to reduce the heavy traffic on a particular road. Okay? Then we'll talk about the drainage system. the drainage system. The road's drainage system is crucial to preventing flooding, erosion, other water-related damages. It is important to evaluate the road's drainage system to ensure that it is functioning correctly. Like I've said in one of my previous videos, it's not just you are constructing a road, then you put two gutter by the side. Okay, you don't do. Did you test the gutters that you put if they are functional? How does the water drain from that gutter that you constructed? This is very important. It's not just putting gutter. How do you channel the water? How do you, all those things matters. These are the things that will help the road to last. Then in a city, there is what they call central drainage system, as in there must be a huge underground drainage system that collects some of this water and drains them to the nearby river. So these good drainage systems, they are very important when it comes to assessing a city. That's why when rain falls, within a short period, you will not even see any water on the road. Everywhere is dry immediately. I know that some places, once rain fall like this, everywhere is waterlogged. It's bad planning. So these are the things that you consider in a city. Okay? Then having said that about the drainage, we talk about the road geometry. As in, the road geometry has to do with the designs of the road, the curves, the incline, the intersections. Do they plan about the intersections? It's not everywhere you see you can put intersections. Some places are meant to be fly. You fly them. As some places you put intersections, it will be causing a lot of traffic. So that is poor planning. It's not just having a good road, that the road is smooth. Yes, the intersection, the inclines, the curves. Do they have a dangerous curves? These are poor planning. So come along with me. I will show you some things. We are just starting. We are just talking about the road. We are going to enter other places. But before I go on, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please, I urge you to subscribe. Click on the subscription button. Let's hear your comments. Like this video, share it. Share it to people that matter. Share it to people that cares. Okay? Let's have their views and their comments through the comment box. Then we talk about the road hazards. The road hazards surroundings can pose hazard to drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. It is important to consider roadside hazards such as trees, utility poles, and other obstacles. While using a road, sometimes you see the electric pole fall. Wow. I have seen it several places. Electric pole will fall inside the road. That is poor. That is poor and dangerous to road users. Sometimes the wire is carrying current at that particular time. Imagine what will happen. Okay? So, having said that, we move to the next one, visibility. The visibility at night. We said that good visibility is essential to ensuring road safety. It is important to evaluate the road's visibility, particularly in areas with poor lighting or blind spots. The road that people are using, how safe it is in the night. Does it have good lighting systems, or the lighting system there are very poor? These are the areas that you consider while assessing a road. You say that yes, this road is good. All those features and fittings has to be there. That's the standard road, So by the time we are done with the features of a good city, then we can be able to talk and say that yes, that these two cities, they are well above standard, or they are within standard, or they are below standard. Or if they are below standard, which one do you prefer to stay in? If you are asked to choose, let's hear you through our comment box. Then what about the signage and markings? The signage, as you have the informative sign and mandatory signs and all those regulatory signs that you see on the road, stop signs and the rest of them. All those things are signage. Then road surface marking. You see those markings on the road, they are very important. Some people will see dotted lines on the road, and if you ask some of them, they will tell you that maybe their paint is finishing. They started managing the paint. It is not true. The dotted lines has meaning, the thick line has meaning, the double thick line has meaning. Okay? So, but that is not what we have come to discuss today. You can go ahead and find out the meaning of these markings. There are parking markings. There are markings for physically challenged. All those markings has meaning. It's supposed to feature in a good city on the road. So you check out where we have all this on our road. That's the big questions that are supposed to be answered. Okay. Then we talk about okay, well, I think I've done justice to describing infrastructure, as in road in particular. Road in particular. If you are, as you are watching this video, you will see that we are still in Asaba. Just showing you some places in Asaba, because we cannot be talking about the two cities if you can't see them. You see them and watch and understand what we are talking about. This is Asaba. We are still in Asaba. After Asaba, we are going to show you some clips from Awka. There will be some clips from Awka so that you understand the comparison. And another thing I still want to talk about is that this assessment is not just based on the videos that you are watching. If you have been to these cities, you understand better and have a better understanding of your assessments. I don't want you to just base your assessments on my videos alone. Hope I've made myself very, very clear. Yes, this place is back of a Buri Gulf in Asaba, Delta State. Like I said before in one of my videos, this area used to be very scanty, but now everywhere is built up. To get a plot of land here, you pay heavily. So, and that is the beauty of development. Okay. So we are still in Asaba, but let's forge ahead as regards our description of a standard city. The second Having talked about infrastructures, as in road in particular, what about housing? Housing. We say that a standard city has a range of housing options, including apartments, single-family homes, and townhouses to accommodate residents of different income level. As in a city like this, you have different apartments, single rooms should be there, available, flats, duplex, any type of accommodation that the person wants is available. That's what we mean by housing. So it's one of the criteria that we look at when we are assessing a city. Then, what about commercial centers? Commercial centers, these are areas of the city that are dedicated to business activities such as offices, retail stores, and restaurants. They provide employment opportunities and generate revenue for the city. Cities and they are not supposed to be scattered anyhow. You see, anywhere you come, you see shops everywhere. You cannot differentiate between residential area and commercial centers. That is a wrong, city planning. A good city plan supposed to have all these things differentiated. You don't have, shops anyhow in a residential place. No. So that is what I'm trying to explain is part of the criteria of a good standard city. Then we talk about what about the public facilities? The public facilities that include schools, libraries, hospitals, and other public services that provide essential services to the residents. Most cities have them. I don't think there's any city that doesn't have schools, library, good hospitals. They do have all these things. Then we talk about access to nature. Talk about access to nature. That includes parks and open spaces. In a city with parks, the city is supposed to have parks, green spaces, and outdoor recreation areas. It can provide opportunities for relaxation, exercise, and a connection to nature. As a good city is supposed to have all these parks, public parks, a good relaxation centers. Do we have it? These ones that we are looking at, these two cities, do we have them? What about recreational areas where you can go and exercise and connect back to nature? See, we look into these areas when we are assessing a city. Then the next thing I want to talk about is about safety and security. Safety and security. A city with low crime rate, effective law enforcement, and safe neighborhood can make residents feel more secured, including effective policing fire departments, that's fire services, etc. This is very important. Anything that we engage without security and the safety, there is problem. So does that city have enough security? Even if the security is there, is it effective? These are the things that we'll consider why we talk about security and safety. I remember one time, and it has been on, governors, they are clamoring for state security, state police. There is need for state police. And if you watch some of the developed countries, you see that yes, they do have them. They have different cadres of policing, because the national police system may not go deep into the community to understand. The person working there may be from another place and he may not understand the vicinity very well. But if the national security is there, or police, and the state own is there, together with the local police, probably the vigilantes and the rest, in case of any crime or something that needs proper investigation, these three cadres of policing can work together. They can work together and fish out the details of whatever they want. And I believe it will be more effective in that area, instead of leaving everything in the hands of the national policing system. Because you find out that many that are working in a community, they may not be from that community and they may not understand the terrain very well. Though it has its own advantages anyway. Being a stranger, working in a different place has its own advantages, because the person seems not to be biased and the local ones may be biased in whatever they are doing. But the strange person is most likely not to be biased, because he's a stranger there. So he has his own advantages and disadvantages. But what we are looking at is which one outweighs which. It looks like the advantages of having a state police outweighs the other one. So, but gradually, I know that the local vigilantes and the rest, that they are being empowered these days to a higher standard. So, having talked about the security and the safety, what about well-maintained infrastructure? Well-maintained infrastructure. Yes, that a city with well-maintained infrastructure, including roads, bridges, public facilities, utilities, can make it easier to live and work. So all these infrastructures, yes, it should be in the plan of a city. It must be in the plan of a city and it will remain there. You notice that some places in our cities, at a point, they will just convert some park to residential area. Government will just convert and sell off some public spaces like parks, convert it and turn it into one business, or sell it out to residential builders. Without providing alternative. See, that is the problem. It is not Good. Then, what if in a situation whereby these infrastructures, infrastructures are there, as in the public utilities and the bridges and the rest, the roads and everything, the situation where they are they maintained? You find out most times we see cracks on our road. The cracks will turn into a pothole. Nothing happens to it. Nobody attends to it. From potholes, it will turn into a big pothole. From big pothole, it will turn into a ditch. And vehicles will start falling there. Trucks, all kinds of vehicles will start falling there. Nothing will happen. Then until the damage has gotten so much that, yes, they will attend to it. These are the things that we need to look into. That a well-planned city is not supposed to allow such things to get bad, like road, before attending to them. Or in some bridges, you see some part of the bridges that have fall out. All these, once you notice faults in all this infrastructure, do they attend to it? They are supposed to attend to them immediately. That's what we are talking about here. Public facilities, all those public places, parks that people used to go and have fun. Do they attend to them? They refurbish them from time to time, attend to them, repaint them, change some things there. Okay, so these are the things that we consider when assessing a city, and it will make people to come there and live and work happily. Then what about job opportunity? What about job opportunities? At a city with a diverse and growing economy, including a range of job opportunities, is very important. So while looking at a city, to assess this city, does the city does it grow? What about the economy of that city? Does it grow? Does it look like a city that is growing economically? That jobs are available. Like I know in some places, once you are there, you will find something that you do and engage yourself, except if you don't want to do anything. So in such cities, are those opportunities there? These are how we assess a city, so that it will help you to determine if you would like to be there or not and live. Most times you hear people saying that I want to go to America, I want to go to Canada, Australia. All these places that have job opportunity that you cannot go hungry. People made it possible. It doesn't just happen. It's a conscious effort that those in charge made it to be like that. So, in a very good functional city, yes, such opportunity is supposed to be considered. People don't like to go in a city that there is no money. It is very hard to survive in such a city. No, people don't like to go there. People would prefer to go to a city that they will stay and find something doing easily. Do some little investment, even large investment. These are the places that people prefer to go. So the cities that we are looking at, you check yourself if such opportunities are present there. Okay. Then we are still in Asaba. Hope you are observing the details of what you are supposed to know and comment about. This is Miriam Babangida Way in Asaba. So this area, you have a lot of businesses and big government infrastructures, hotels, and the rest. Then some of the new ones are springing up. These ones are 2 different hotels under construction at the same time, owned by 2 different people. So we are still exploring Asaba. When we are done, we will enter Awka. The 2 city capitals of 2 different states. Asaba, capital of Delta State. Awka, capital of Anambra State. The 2 were born in the same day, 27th of August 1991. They were created. The part of Asaba has Asaba written at the top right of the video. Top right of the video. Then the part of Awka is written at the top left. So this is just to differentiate the 2 videos that are merged together, so that it will be a guide for us to make our decisions. This place is DBS Road. We just entered DBS Road. We are going to move down a bit. From there we find our way into another place. But we are not done yet though. We are not done yet as regards the things we look into while considering a city. The things that you just observe, you say, yes, this city is a standard city, is well above standard, or is a standard city, or is below standard, or itself it doesn't have standard at all. You see? And secondly, after viewing them, which one that you prefer to live? And please, if possible, tell us the reason why you prefer to stay in this particular city. You know your reasons. I'm not the one that will tell you your reasons, but based on our descriptions here, what you take into considerations while choosing a city, that will be a guide for you to make your decisions about a city that is good for you. And having said that, recall earlier that I've made mention of, about road, what people consider good when assessing a road. Okay? Then we are still on we are exiting DBS Road. We'll join Abanam Road now, moving down to ShopRite side. Then another thing that we consider in a city is affordable cost of living. Affordable cost of living. Yes, that a city with a reasonable cost of living, including affordable housing, taxes, and services, can make it easier for residents to live comfortably. It's not about a city that is very expensive. Housing very expensive, taxes very expensive, and everything expensive. You find out that virtually everything you work out there will still go into that place. Is that the type of city you want? But it's left for you to decide. I'm just rolling out some important things that we need to consider while assessing a good city. Okay? The cost of living in that city, how is it? Is it a city that you go after working, you spend everything? There's nothing to show for it. Having in mind the two cities we are considering. So, that is it. Now we have entered the Awka. This is Awka in Anambra State. You can see from the top left corner is written Awka. And inside this place is an estate. That is Estobiako Estate. So there are a lot of buildings inside, a whole lot of mighty buildings inside, but we are just passing along. We are done with the Asaba view. We have now entered Awka. Let's see how Awka looks like. From there, we'll enter another road. We are going to Ifite axis. Ifite road axis. That's the next place of call we are going. Okay, this area now is Ifite. This is Ifite area. We are having a look of inside. We just breezed inside the backyard of Unizik at the back, the other end, just to have a look, then turn out and go out again. But we are not done with the things that we'll consider in a standard city. We are not done yet. So, but we'll still continue. It's just to give us a kind of brief understanding of where we are now. So that we follow along. that color, white and blue, is a special color for Unizik buses. Buses that conveys, students, lecturers to and fro. The usual commercial color for Anambra is black and yellow, but that blue and white that looks like Asaba bus is for Unizik alone. That's the Unizik color. We are still along Ifite Road. See how fast this place has gone in development. Honestly speaking, I know these places before. They are not like this. All these places used to be bush, thick bush. In fact, you are not doing anything here if not just to pass. Just one or two hostels you find that time, and these hostels are close to the Unizik gate there. So that is our prayer, development, and everything. That is what people want. But let's keep going. Then another area that we look into when it comes to assessing a city and a good standard city is waste management. Waste management, very important. In most of my videos, I've heard people complaining as in talking about seeing some littering waste along the road, and they may want to urge the government to improve in waste management. Then we said that a standard city has a system for managing waste, including trash collections, recycling programs, and disposal facilities. The thing is that it's not just waste management. People also complain about heavy sand and the presence of sand on the road that is not supposed to. And actually, if you look at it critically, you know that a city road is not supposed to contain all those sands on it. I don't know if you are going to make a special research to find out why there are sands on this road. Is it because that they are not swept off, or is it that even if they sweep them, it will still come back because some portion of the roads are not good? You can see presence of red soil on the road, and the tires, when roll over it, will pick up those sands and go and deposit them somewhere else. Or is it the menace of tipper drivers that carry sand? They'll be moving along the road, be pouring sand on the road. I don't know. Probably I'm going to, if possible, make a video of research to know why we see a lot of sands on our road. But for now, we are talking about waste management. That's why we talked about the sand issue. Then waste management, there is need through people's comments. My attention has been drawn to such comments about waste littering the streets, some refuse dump and the rest of them. Yes, there is need to have an improved waste management system. Please, I want you to follow this discussion judiciously. Don't jump, maybe just follow it. Let's reason, because if these places are good, it's for me and you, and it's for the future of our children. See, though our own time is almost going, but which legacies are we going to leave for our children? Are we going to leave them like this? The purpose of human life is to make things better for the future. So that's why we talk about all these things. We want to have a kind of rub minds. Let's understand ourselves. Let's see the way we can move forward for a better living. And you agree with me that waste is not to be encouraged in any form. It will degenerate human health. It's not good to be seen. It's an eyesore, and so many things about waste. So let's use, because of one or two of these discouragement, to see the way we can do about this waste management. People are complaining seriously about waste in most of our cities. So if the present waste system that we are operating is not working out, if it's not functional, let's look into an improved system. Or is it that the system needs enough workforce and vehicles to make it functional? In whichever way, I think that the government has to improve, add more budget to controlling waste. People might think that it doesn't matter. What is it? Is it not spend wasting money? People, it has been like that. But we can change these things one day. One day we can make our environment good and better. From there it will continue. So let it be a kind of standard that the cities will be like this, that it is a non-negotiable standard. Can we have that at the back of our minds? I have a friend that I have not met before, but the person is always crying about filth on our roads, waste on our roads, and the person has so many places he has been to, African countries, and he'll be sending pictures, and we'll be seeing these pictures. You see some of those small little African countries that is not up to one state in our country. They are very neat. Can't even see sand on the road. All the roads are marked. You see walkways. You see pedestrian walkways, bicycle walkways, bicycle lane, and everything. So please, this is a kind of wake-up call. If the system that we are operating as regard waste is not functioning, of which people are talking about that is not functioning properly, let there be a change of hand. Or even if it means some people even say that foreign countries, as in foreigners, even manage waste in another country. Like some of these Chinese people, that they can come to our country and manage your waste disposal system. That they do it. That is what one of the African countries, that's what they do, according to the person. They manage their waste, and you don't see anything little. And it's not only on the part of those in charge, those in authority. It's not only them. The public, again, they have much work to contribute to the table on managing waste. If the government says you don't litter the street, you don't drop any used item on the street, you don't do it. That's why I said we have much work to do, even more than the government. Even where these trash, cans, where they are provided, if at all, do you use them to trash your refuse? Or do you, after drinking something, you throw it along the road? That is serious indiscipline. And we need a lot of orientation and publicity towards that axis to change the mindset of our people, and also provide at some different points where people can trash some items, even if it means, like some places, for instance, some cities are well populated, are densely populated. You don't expect the amount you budget for waste management in that city to be the same thing in a city that is less populated. Of course, the one that is densely populated should have higher amount. So even if it means packing these waste systems, or packing the waste 2 times in a day to keep it busy, yes, let them do it. They should do it. Or even if it means assigning 1 truck to maybe 2 streets or 3. Yes, if it's going to keep everywhere clean, then do it. It will reduce the cost of going to the hospital. All these things contribute to e-health and the rest of them. And it will make our city fine, increase the aesthetic values of our city. So, please, why I decided to dwell more on this waste management is I have noticed it. In fact, you see waste management and roads. These are the 2 things people talk about bitterly. Road and the watch, I've taken my time to explain the road, what a standard road looks like. And I trashed that one and detailed it to the core. Now I have come to the waste management, and I've taken my time to talk about waste management. Even in some of our cities, yes, I see some recycling going on. Some people don't understand when we talk about recycling. Let me give you an instance. If you move down to Owerri Road in Onitsha, if you are going to Bosi Interchange, the new interchange that is constructed that links Second Niger Bridge, you see that dump site there. That dump site, it has a system of recycling there. You see people, though it's manually done. This one is not the one that machine sort or whatever. There are people working there. They pick some items. Some are picking plastics, some are picking metals, some are picking cartons. That is recycle. Once they dump refuse there, you see these people, they will sort them. After sorting them, companies will buy these things and recycle them. So it's not when you hear about recycling, it will always sound so big that it must be mechanical recycling. No, those people there picking those items, they are recycling them. Even though the way and manner they keep it around that area is a bit not encouraging. Probably they are supposed to have a wall that they will put it behind. But however, mine is just to explain about recycling. It is part of recycling, and it is part of managing waste. it will reduce the number of waste, the quantity of waste that is finally deposited for decay and every other thing. So I think I've talked much on managing waste and which it worth it. It worth it. So please, let's see the way we can improve our waste management. Please, everybody must join hands to make these things possible. Even on the part of enforcement, people that dump waste anyhow, people that don't care about what happens to their waste, enforcement should come in. Okay, so I think I've done justice to that. Right now we are still in Awka, along the expressway. By my right there is the Unizik, the premises of Anambra State University in Awka. So, having said that, if you have not subscribed to our channel, subscribe by clicking on the subscription button. Let's hear your comments. Please remember what we talk about, our comment on this video. I myself have taken time to explain what you should expect in a standard city, and I'm not done yet. There are some things I need to say to wrap it up. So you consider these things that I've mentioned, then you decide, you just let us know among these two cities the one that you can prefer to stay, and if possible give us reason why you want and prefer to stay in this city more than this other one. Of course, there will be different views in that regard. So you do this through the comment box provided there. So now we are junction that connects Express and Old Road in Awka there. So we just have to drive down to see how that side looks like. All these areas are called Awka. This is Awka area. It's called Awka. By my right there is the International Convention Center. Was built by the past administration of Anambra State, Governor Willie Obiano. And this is the front entrance to the International Convention Center in Awka. So, but we are not staying long here. We are leaving. We just have a view of that place. We are moving down again. all this area inside there are some good buildings there, but the time will not permit us to go inside to see how it looks like. Then I don't know, there is another thing that the foreign countries they do in their cities that we hardly do in this part of the world. Theirs, before people comes to build any house, they will first of all map out the city, build the roads. The roads will be constructed. The drainage system is already channeled in an empty land though. They have already planned, channeled the drainage system, the underground drainage system, the surface one and everything, and it will be covered. That's how I learned it is done abroad. So, but the reverse is the case here. People will build. After building, later maybe they will remember to pour asphalt on the ground there and put gutter. That is doing the reverse thing, and that's why we keep experiencing all this part of erosions that is spoiling so many things in our environment. A good city, standard city, is supposed to be planned before building. Even if it's not done that way, at least a larger percentage of that place must have been done. Constructed, the roads, drainage system done before building. That is the standard. So, but it's not like that here. Then we are still now we are on expressway, Enugu-Onitsha expressway, moving up to Aroma axis. We are not done yet on the features of a standard city. We are not done. The next one is utilities. What about the utilities? A standard city provides essential utilities such as electricity, water, and some modern places gas to the residents. Then, when you are assessing a city, what about electricity? Do they have a functional electricity there? As in, do they have steady light? Of course, you know what I mean. I'm not the one that will tell you. Can assess the two cities and know how far with the lighting system. Why is like that? I don't know. Why is like that? I don't know. So maybe people will help out to tell us why we don't have, or why we have steady lights. I bet you that many knows that, and many will say that we don't have steady light, that the light is epileptic. And some will still say that, okay, maybe in some areas they provide enough light for them, so less here, and you use that as a part of your assessment. But I know that in some developed countries, in short, they have 24 hours light. In some African countries, 24 hours light, they are there. So, but I don't know why some people, their own is difficult. To provide light is difficult. and the people that are using the light, they are difficult. So you see, the problems are two ways: people using the light and people providing the light. I don't know which one is which. But sometimes, if you want to confirm if this light can be available, sometimes you see them leaving this light for a long time. You'll be wondering, so this light can be, supplied without interruption like this. So sometimes you wonder why it's like that. Why do we have that epileptic supply of electricity? Or even water. Am I talking about water? In the city where you are living in, does it have waterborne system, borehole? Does it have a central water board that is functional? It's not people digging borehole here and there. Private borehole. That system has its own consequences. There are supposed to be a central water supply system in a functional city, and that is the standard. In those days, when we are in Enugu has water difficulties, but water is not easily accessed in Enugu. But yet, then, government provide water. There is no compound that doesn't have water in their water system. Water runs in every home then. So, but now, I don't know about now. But that time, if you on your tap, the tap is flowing, water is flowing, everything. So, but is that such system, is it still in existence? That's how you assess a good city, a functional city. It's part of the assessment. So it's not just people going to dig water everywhere and there, causing collateral damage to the environment. So we are still in Awka. Still in Awka. This area is we are moving towards towards Ogbono side, but we are not going to Ogbono. We will divert somewhere towards another area because our coverage is just Awka. Though Awka has its own metropolis. That's the two different things. There is Awka city, there is Awka itself, and there are other adjoining cities, towns around Awka, which forms part of Awka metropolis. So we are not touching those areas. We concentrate in Awka alone. Those towns that I'm talking about, you talk of Amobia. Amobia, you may not know the difference between Amobia and Awka. You talk of Ogbono. Ogbono, you may not know the difference between Ogbono town and Awka. Then Amansi too. Amansi is becoming like that. Okay? So, but we are not touching those areas. Our concentration is on Awka city alone. Okay? The same thing with Asaba. When we touched Asaba, we just touched Asaba alone. We did not go to touch Opanam. No. Maybe in one of these recent times we are going to touch Opanam to have a view of Opanam, what it looks like presently. Because I believe that these videos that we are doing in the next 3 years or 2 years, we'll still go back and do another one, or even after 1 year. Let's see how places have changed. Are you with me? Then in Asaba, we did not touch Okwe. Okwe is a different town, but they are all joined to Asaba as part of Asaba metropolis. Even Abuja self is now joining Asaba. Talk of Ubolu, all those areas, they are joining Asaba. Now we are somewhere after Unizik temporary site. We are moving along the expressway. So that is that should be Water flyover. That should be water flyover. So, but we are going to use under. And come out the other side. I thank God for the construction of these flyovers. If not, those places are a hell of place to cross. Then those days you hardly cross them. So, but these are the developments that should come to a city. People should have access to any area at any time. That forms part of a good city. It's not that you have fine road with walkways, everything, but there is hold up always on that road. That is wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. There should be a way of diverting some of the traffic to another place to avoid hold up being on that particular road. So all these things are the things that we still consider when it comes to, a good city plan. So this area is the upper area of what do I call it? Let me not make okay, the upper area, we are at Ataiza Avenue. This is Ataiza Avenue now. So we are at Ataiza Avenue, moving towards Koka area. Ataiza Avenue is formerly Achala Road. Formerly Achala Road, Oka. So that's where we are now. So, but another thing that you may consider while assessing a city, whether to assess the standard of a city, the zoning regulations about that city. This has to do with the regulations that dictates how land how land within the city can be used, such as for residential, commercial, or industrial purposes. That is, in the city that you are being considered, do they map out, is there area for industrial purposes? Is there area as in land mapped out for industrial areas, or maybe residential areas or commercial areas? It's not that within a street you see one industry. Within a residential area, people will be having industries. No, that is not a planned city. A planned city is supposed to have its own industrial areas, different from commercial areas, different from residential areas. So these are the things that should be considered. Please, I think I've come of a distance and have gone deep into explanation of what a standard city should look like and what will be considered in a standard city. I've mentioned about infrastructures of that city. I've mentioned about housing, walkability of that place. I talked about the commercial centers. Talked about public facilities. I remember I said something about public safety, also access to nature, parks and the open spaces. I still remember I talked about safety and security. Also, not forgetting affordable cost of living. I also mentioned well-maintained infrastructure. And I remembered I said something about job opportunity. So, you that is comparing cities, we have wrote the standards for you now. Look at the standard, what you should consider when looking at a city, or what you should consider when you want to choose a place, a city you want to live. I have just wrote them out for you to consider. So you check out those things that I've said, and let's hear from you. We want to hear from you, our viewers, what you think about what we have said. Because after lecturing, the lecturer will wait and hear from the students that he has lectured. If they have questions, they will throw to him. He will answer. If they have observation, they will talk about it. Then, if it's a discussion class like we are having now, is a lecturer student discussion class, a sort of, on how to improve our environment, and also the things that we are supposed to look into to have a good standard city environment. So please, I have done my own part. I expect you to do your own part. Subscribe to our channel. Encourage us by subscribing, and encourage us by sharing our video. These are the things that you can do for us to keep us moving. Okay? These are the things that can encourage us to be doing more for you and for the public If the encouragements they are not coming, the morale will be low. But if these encouragements are coming in, the morale will be high. And we will provide more and talk more than we wanted to. So that is how it works, my good people. This is a Court of Appeal, Awka. This is Court Road, the road that leads down to Obinago Road, or part of Obinago Road in Awka. So, but gradually we are coming towards the end, but we are not done yet. We are coming towards the end of the video. If you move down straight, you are going down to Wata. From that right is you are coming from the flyover there. As the Kwata flyover. The Ezozo of Awka, the Igwe of Awka is living somewhere here. But we are not going inside to that side. So, but we just diverted right and entered inside the Udoka estate. So, my great viewers, I want to thank you so much for keeping faith with us by watching our videos. Don't forget to share it. Let people see the video. Let's hear from them. Let's make contribution to this video. Okay? I still remain Chinedu. And bye for now. Till I come your way next time.